Hello, nice to see you. I'm Dioki. Today, we're going to learn about where to look and how to position your head while doing backstroke. Your swim instructors probably told you to look at your toes or to look up at the ceiling, and when you do that, this is what happens. So I'm either looking up at the ceiling or slightly tucking my head to see my toes, right? My toes. Now it's totally fine to do that, but if you lift your head too much, your lower body will start to sink. That's why you just gently tuck your chin. In every sport, I've always said you should be looking in the direction you're going, but in backstroke, you can't see where you're going, right? But I actually can see where I'm going, and I'll show you how in the video. So then, why do we need to tuck the chin just a little? In most sports, you look where you're going, but in backstroke, you can't see what's ahead. Skilled swimmers can see in front of them or to the side, but most people end up looking at the ceiling or their toes. But in theory, it works a bit differently. You shouldn't be looking at your toes or the ceiling, you should be looking back toward where you started. Why? Since you can't see what's in front of you, looking back at the starting point helps you know whether you're going straight or drifting to one side. Of course, in an indoor pool, you can follow the ceiling with your eyes, but if you're swimming outdoors, you can't really tell where you're going, right? So in theory, when you're doing backstroke, the principle is to keep your eyes on the starting point. And by starting point, I mean the exact spot where you began your backstroke, right? So if you tuck your chin too much while doing backstroke, your lower body will sink. And if you lift your chin too much or stare straight up at the ceiling, when you do that, there's a high chance water will get into your nose as it rises. That's why you should gently tuck your chin down. By gently tucking your head, the water flows down your face, which helps prevent it from getting into your nose. That is exactly why we tuck the head just a little. If you hold your head like that, water will likely go into your nose as it rises. That's why you need to tuck your chin just a little. If you tuck your head down too much, your lower body will sink and you will not be able to swim properly. That's why it's so important to tuck your chin just a little, no more than that. And in most cases, because you are wearing goggles, you still cannot see the starting point even if you tuck your chin slightly. So the goal is to gently tuck your head just enough to let the water flow smoothly down your face. There are two main reasons we tuck the chin slightly. One is to keep the starting point in view, and the other is to let the water flow down the face. But when you're wearing goggles, you usually can't see the starting point. So the first reason doesn't really apply in practice. So in the end, it's only the second reason that really applies. The real purpose of tucking your chin slightly is to help the water flow down your face as smoothly as possible. That's really all you need to remember. And now some of you might find yourself sinking when you swim. So if you lift your chin a little and look up at the ceiling, that's totally fine too. Let me go over it one more time. The reason we tuck the chin slightly is, first, to keep the starting point in view. Second, the second reason is to let the water flow smoothly down your face. But when you are wearing goggles, the first reason does not really work. Why is that? Even if you tuck your chin, you can't see the starting point at all because of your goggles. So in the end, only the second reason applies, to help water flow down your face, right? Now, what if you're struggling to tuck your chin or you keep sinking in the water? If that's difficult for you, it's totally okay to lift your chin a little and look up at the ceiling while you swim. But when you're doing backstroke, there's actually a marker. So what is it? In a backstroke pool, you'll see flags hanging above. These are the backstroke markers. When you see the backstroke flags, that's your signal. you're almost there. You can either stop or turn around and switch to freestyle. A lot of people end up hitting the wall during backstroke. Some people hit their arms and even their heads. This can actually lead to injuries. So don't go all the way to the wall once you see the backstroke flags. Go just a little past the flags, then stand up right away. Or you can turn around, switch to freestyle, do a turn, and start backstroke again. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching.